What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's daily rap video after a meltdown. That's right, our boy Phil had another meltdown over Asmongold. That's right, Asmongold versus DSP. The arc is here for 2025, and couldn't have thought of a better way to end 2025 with AsmoRoach versus the PigRoach. That's right. Gonna be streaming today around 10 o'clock. We'll talk about it. We'll watch the videos. We'll make fun of Phil. It was actually pretty funny. It really was. And yeah, so let's see what Phil had to say on the daily rap. I'm curious to know if he's gonna bring it up again like he always does. So let's get into it.
Good evening, everyone. Phil here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Tuesday, the 11th of November, 2025. So, let's talk about today. How did today go? We had a podcast returning. We had the first real major stream of Outer Worlds 2 because the previous one had basically been the intro of the game. And we had a night stream of Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection where we tried something different. How did it all go down, right? Podcast today was a good one. Today, we talked about various different topics, including some stuff that's been going down with the Kick Chat recently, leading to some nonsensical drama that basically has now been resolved, which is great. It's good to have drama resolved, okay? We talked about the status of current playthroughs and the like, and we tried to brainstorm some of the stuff that I'll be doing during the upcoming Black Friday event, stream, marathon, because we don't even know what it is yet. We're actually still kind of uncertain. Good news is we have over 2 weeks left to figure it out. But, you know, I like to plan out stuff, and right now we have no clue what's going on with that. So, big podcast, tons of stuff discussed, and then we jumped into Outer Worlds 2, okay? Now, I can finally tell you my true initial impressions on Outer Worlds 2, all right? So, Outer Worlds 2 is basically Outer Worlds 1 with some minor tweaks and some graphical...
Okay, Phil, no one gives a shit. Honestly, no one cares, brother. All we want to hear is what happened today with AsmoRoach versus the PigRoach. That's all people really want to care about. And I guess you don't want to talk about it, but I definitely want to talk about it. So that's right. If you don't know what's going on, the Kick streamer Asmongold, multi-million sub channel, makes tons of money, is one of the big YouTubers out there. He mostly does react videos. He watches a lot of Twitter, YouTube videos, make fun of locales and so on. It's a pretty good channel, you know, and he talks about politics as well. He decided that he wanted to address DSP's current begging issue and how he's been treating his viewers and his supporters and so on. Mainly focused around his the kick chatters, right? And you know how Phil took away the ability to highlight messages and all that until his viewers started supporting. And he dug into a little bit more. He started looking at older videos of PigRoach being an e-beggar. And he hit Phil pretty hard. He hit him pretty hard. And he focused on that for roughly 10 minutes. He looked at about 10 minutes of clips. Various clips of Phil being a scumbag throughout the years and treating his viewers like crazy. He actually called them a generational roach. That's right. It was either generational roach or generational e-beggar or something like that. I think it was roach. And the connotation is, of course, is that roaches, you know, they're leeches. You know, they're essentially leeches. They live off of they live off of other people's residues, and without other people, they wouldn't be able to survive, right? And also, they're disgusting. You know what I mean? They're slimy and they're disgusting, and no one likes roaches, right? So, yeah, he just went on. And then, of course, he started digging into his gameplay and started mocking how bad of a gamer he is. And I guess, you know, knowing that a multi-million sub channel is detracting on DSP got to Phil. And 2 days ago, his chat did reach out to him and let him know, hey, are you going to react to what Asmongold said about you? And, of course, DSP, like always, doesn't know what anyone's talking about, right? That's his favorite line. He has no clue what anyone's talking about. And, of course, he did. He knew exactly what everyone was talking about. He knew exactly the clip people were referencing. And, you know, he watched it. And, of course, Doody posted the video out there. I did clip the whole segment. It's about 18 minutes. It's out there. I guess Phil went back, took a look at Doody's video, and decided, I can't stand this. I can't allow this. I can't allow to let some huge streamer make fun of me and highlight to hundreds and thousands of people how much of a scumbag you are. You know, Phil can't do that. When it's Doody and other detractors, he'll react, but you can't have someone with multi-million sub channels with a lot of clout and a lot of visibility. No, no, no. You can't have that without Phil addressing it. And, you know, he did the same spiel like he did with Moist Critical, where he talked about, why don't you come on my channel? Why don't you interview me? Why don't you look at my content? My detractors take everything out of content. Get out of here. It's the same nonsense with him, and no one's buying it. The little dirty secret here is Asmongold has been aware of Phil for at least 10 years. He knows exactly who Phil is. He knows his shtick. He knows how much he e-begs. He knows how he treats his viewers. He knows exactly who you are, Phil. He doesn't need to research or have a conversation with you. He knows exactly who you are. And you are the scum of the internet. That's what you are, brother. You're someone that, you know, shouldn't have a platform, shouldn't be allowed to stream because of how disgusting you are as an e-beggar. And it's quite disgusting. It really is. And you're just salty, of course, because a huge YouTuber or a huge kick... He is still on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel. He does clips. But he kind of does what Kino Casino does. You know, when a huge personality like Asmongold the Moist Critical talks about Phil, oh boy, it's retcon mode. And that's what he did. And he was pathetic. And he addressed it twice. He had 2 meltdowns. And yeah, it's pretty sad. It's funny. I love it. I love it. So... curious to know if he's going to continue bringing it up and addressing it, because of course he will. He can't help himself, especially with his chatters bringing it up in chat. They're going to be talking about it, you know, now that it's widely known what Asmongold said about Phil. I'm pretty sure it won't be the last of it. Phil will bring it up and have probably another meltdown, probably today, especially if support is slow. So yeah, so now he's going to get into Outer Worlds. Like I mentioned in a previous video, that game's going to get wage quit. It's the second game, and he already didn't hit the goal. So, you know, if he doesn't hit the goal again, he's more than likely going to wage quit. So let's see what he has to say.
Improvements. But it's almost the same game. And what I mean by that is open world exploration with a lot of repetitive grindy combat against very generic enemies. Okay? You need to have your allies doing their co-op abilities to help you, whether it heals or you know, kind of draws aggro away from you. You level up. As you level up, you get to, hey, do I want to put these points into combat? Do I want to put the points into speech? Do I want to put the points into lockpicking? Very, very, very similar to Fallout. Okay, not going to lie. As soon as you get out of the open world and you start arriving in towns, immediately the game completely changes pace. Now you have a ridiculous amount of people to talk to, all of which usually have their own plot, their own little side mission going on. Based on the perks and the abilities you've leveled, some of these will be easy. Like one person said, oh, if you have luck, you could just immediately make this coagulant and you can heal someone at the first aid place and you get rewards for it. It was like instant, okay? But other missions are like, well, to do that, you got to go over here. You got to get this solution. You got to research this. You got to find a key hidden here and do this and do that. So they're more multi-layered, multifaceted. Sometimes if you've got the right stats, you can turbo right through. Other times, it's, you know, tons of other hoops you got to go through to complete these missions. Already, you know, the narrative continued from where we were last time. Essentially, following the person who betrayed you in the intro and trying to figure out where her current whereabouts are. But also other plot lines open up, such as, oh, the corporation is controlling, you know, the planet, this town of Fairfield. And who do you want to side with? The guy who wants you to do, like, manipulation and stealth, or the woman who wants you to do melee combat to take over a factory of robots, right? So you make your choices or whatever. And basically, I played the game for around almost 3 hours today, okay? And by the end of the stream, I'll be honest, I wasn't upset. I didn't not like the game, but I also wasn't really impressed. It really did feel like they just did exactly what they did in the first game. Again, here's the one difference, though. In the first game, there was an incredible amount of early world building. You needed to understand a universe that's dominated by corporations, how everything's an advertisement, a jingle, a product placement, how commercial everything's become. You know, plot lines about the Saltuna or Spacer's Choice advertisements playing everywhere was pretty funny, okay? To see that there was actually religions based around capitalism and things like that was actually an interesting insight. I accidentally just turned off the daily wrap. There we go. But in this game, it's already all established. In fact, it's not even as interesting because, for example, the two major corporations, which were Spacer's Choice and Auntie Cleo, have formed into one. They basically did a merger. Now it's Auntie's Choice. So now there's not even competition between two to accept it. And by the end of the first stream, I was just kind of like, meh, it's not bad, but again, I'm not very interested in it. Interesting, original, different, and more. You don't want the same game again. I mean, we just played Outer Worlds. Everyone else, you could tell people were disengaging. People were basically expressing this in the chat saying, this ain't it. This is pretty boring. And on top of all of that, okay, we didn't hit the support goal. Now, it wasn't bad. I think we had like $117 of support on the first stream. So that's not bad. I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying, we've been hitting goals like every stream. All of a sudden now we can't even hit the goal because this game just isn't that interesting. Okay? Just being honest. I wish that it were more interesting. I wish that it were more engaging and fun. It just wasn't. It was pretty boring. So because of that, we didn't hit a goal. And I was like, man, that sucks because we were at 7 out of 10. Think of it this way. If we had hit our goal and then we kept hitting them today, we would have been in position to do DSP Tries It tomorrow. But it is what it is. Okay? So then we went on break, came back for the late stream.
All right, I'm going to stop it there because you know what that means, folks. Whenever Phil starts talking about support, we know we're going to get a wage quit. That's right. And this game, I give it another, maybe, I don't know. I give it another 1 or 2 streams. I won't say he'll wage quit it right away. But if he's struggling to hit the goal, even if he hits the goal, but if he struggles to hit the goal and he has to sit there and beg and beg and beg and beg, like he does with everything else, he's going to wage quit it. He's going to use the excuse of, oh, it's the same as Outer World 1. My chat's disengaged. No one cares. You know, there's going to be 1 or 2 people that are going to say, you know, ignore this game, or he's going to look at the LARPers and say, see, my chat doesn't want this game. When essentially, you know, no one really cares anyway, regardless, right? But he'll use his chat, the LARPers and so on, to claim that no one cares about this game, and he's not wage quitting it. He's just moving on to something else because his viewers don't like the game. Nonsense. Complete nonsense. Just retcon from Phil, which he does every other fucking time anyway, just as an excuse to wage quit something. And yeah, he's gonna wage quit this game, definitely, because it's a bit slow paced. It's gonna take at least 40 hours to play this game. And yeah, I played it a little bit. I don't think it's that engaging or interesting enough as an RPG. It's a normal RPG. You know what I mean? If you played Fallout, it's pretty much like that. If you did play Outer Worlds 1, it's pretty much like Outer Worlds 1. And yeah, for some reason his viewers don't like RGBs. I'm not RGBs. RPGs, long RPGs at that. And they get disengaged and they don't care. Happened in the first stream. The first stream, I think he did hit the goal, but he made $130 on the podcast and made literally like $20 during the gameplay. So as soon as that happened, I know that it was the end for this game. This game had no chance of continuing here. So I give it another stream or 2, but you know it's gonna get sent to Ban World, just like 40 other games this year. It's quite sad and pathetic, but of course PigRoach is quite sad and pathetic. And yeah, so I mean that's it. He goes on, let's see, he goes on for another 5 minutes. Good God, I don't know what he has to talk about. Let me skim real quick to see if he's remotely interesting about anything.
Oh, plays very similar to
no one cares. So
again, 2 streams in a row after having so many great streams.
Oh, here it is. Yes. Okay, all right. So now he's going to talk about the night stream and how he struggled to hit the goal yet again. Yeah, Phil. I mean, I don't know, Phil, what you expect from your viewers, brother. I really don't know what you expect from your viewers, and the fact, you know, that they're going to support every single stream. I thought the point of you changing your goal structure back in December was to take the pressure off your viewers so that they didn't have to hit every single goal. Let's hear what he has to say here.
And everything, and I really feel like it was game selection. Outer Worlds 2 just didn't do it.
Game selection, yes.
And this Mortal Kombat game just wasn't very good. You know, we didn't know that, but what are you gonna do? And then last minute there was a rallying. Someone dropped a ridiculous amount of subs on Kick. In addition to that, a few other people dropped some support. So we ended up exceeding the goal and getting over $200 by the end of the stream. Now I had made an arrangement earlier in the night. I said, listen, earlier today we were so close to hitting a goal.
Right.
For a stream. that if we hit the goal on this
This
late
is some crazy
if
shit
we raised
here.
just a few more bucks, if we raised 33 more bucks, which would have been what would have brought us to our goal on the first stream, I'll count it as 2 goals. With all this last minute support we got, we did just that. So as of tonight, we started at 7, we ended at 9 goals hit, and today was a well-supported day on DSP Gaming. Now, it sucks it went down the way it did. I wish that the games today had been better. I wish that people liked Outer Worlds 2 and MK Special Forces and would want more. But sadly, I don't think that's the case for either game. I think that people are kind of bored and want other stuff. So what we're going to have to do is look back at our schedule again. And the reason I say that, we were going to play...
Okay, whatever. What's the point of having goals, Phil? What's the point of having a goal structure if you're going to constantly change it? Just don't have a goal, man. Don't do that. God, you see how pathetic you sound? Just because you want to avoid giving the trolls a W, you have to bend over backwards and say, well, here's a special deal, guys. If we get over $200 on this stream, I'll count it as 2 goals. Like, you look sad and pathetic, man, and it doesn't matter, Phil, because the video I posted is already out there that you didn't hit the goal. So it doesn't matter what you do, brother. You know what you really need to do, Phil? You need to change it. If you're going to keep a goal structure, just stop being a greedy pig roach and just do a daily goal. If you get $300 throughout the day for the day, both streams, regardless if you get $50 on one and $250 on the, just count that shit as 2 goals, okay? Because you know eventually that's what you're going to move to anyway. Because there's going to be times where you're just not going to hit the goal. You're going to have a streak where 3 or 4 days come by and you don't hit goals. And then you're going to be pathetic and you're going to say, you know what? I thought about it and, you know, we should do day goals. It's just sad and pathetic, Phil, man. Anyway, I'm done. By the way, don't forget, Doody's going to be streaming today at 10 o'clock. Be there. It should be a lot of fun. Peace out.